talk about something that most of us are truly really passionate about. We've been in it for a while for some of us. For me, it's only been 2 weeks. 2 weeks that has drastically changed my life. I never thought 14 days can change who I am as a person until I was put into a situation like this. So from the day that we're born, we're literally told that there's one road to go on. The only road that you can go down is the road that's already been paved for you. So you have to go to school. You have to keep going to school, keep going to school, keep going to school, eventually get a degree. But now because careers are so competitive, a bachelor's degree won't do. It's not good enough. So you get a master's degree, you get a doctorate, whatever you need, you have to keep going. And then after you finish your whole entire life in school, you work to find a career that you actually enjoy. How common is it to actually find a career that you really, really enjoy? Jobs are hard either way. So you find that career, you work, you have a family, you keep working, keep working. After 40 years of working, you retire, and you still struggle with money because you don't only have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your family. But just because it's the only road that's been paved out for you, doesn't mean that's the only road you can go down. You can create your own road. It is possible to pave your own road. You just have to have the mindset and the knowledge to do it. So what we're doing here is not easy. We are consuming knowledge nonstop. We're teaching ourselves how to work in a business like this. It's not easy, but it's different. And for me, I never listened to what people told me I was supposed to do. And I went for brunch with Natasha a couple weeks ago. And she told me about this whole idea of Vima. I was like, I'm a little bit skeptical, you know? She's like, come to the meeting. And this one right here, she reads me a list on Google. Vima scam, don't do it, they're gonna brainwash you. And I was like, dude, they're gonna brainwash me. What am I doing? And so I talked to Natasha on the phone, and I was like, dude, I don't know if it's a good idea. She's like, Kyra, when in your life have you not made your own decisions? And I was like, it's true. Why can't I just make up my own mind and go check it out for myself? So I did. I went to one meeting. One meeting led me down the path that has been waiting for me my whole entire life. The next day I studied for 8 hours. 8 hours of that day I dedicated my time to watching videos and teaching myself how this system works. My mom comes in the kitchen like, what are you doing? Like, are you working on something? I was, yeah, Mom, I found something I'm passionate about. I found something I can do. I found something that I can use my skills in order to create my own success. Because the problem is with 20-year-olds, with young people nowadays, we think we can't create our own success. We have to follow what everyone else is doing, and then eventually, you settle. We're not just here to party. We're not just here to have fun. You can have a purpose if you believe it's worth having. There are things that you can do with your life. You're not just here to move through the motions, and this has taught me I'm here to inspire myself to continue to believe in myself and to make you believe in yourself too. Because it's not that hard. It's not that hard to create your own success. It's exhausting, don't get me wrong. I work a 40-hour-a-week job on the side, but this is what I do full-time. This is what I incorporate in my everyday life. When I get home, I work, I study, I read, I watch videos. I continue to inspire myself because I'm doing this because I love it. This is something that has showed me we are here for a reason. You can create your own path. Just because someone tells you you can't do it, are you going to tell yourself you can't do it too? The only reason I'm here right now is because I believe in myself. Thanks to frickin' Natasha Kapexi and Kevin Luongo, my partners in success, I cannot thank them enough because honestly, in this kind of business, you need a foundation. You need a foundation. It's not a cult.
We're doing Vima.
Kapexi family, one moment please. This is not a cult, this is a family. We work together to create our success. So, give me a second, I need to gather, I'm a little bit excited. For me, I was never a school person. I went to school every day, whatever, skipped some class, smoked a little bit too much weed. Was never really into it. You're constantly there to memorize. You're not actually necessary. Some people like school, don't get me wrong, some people are into it. For me, it wasn't for me. I just felt like I was there being told what to do by teachers who are making 30 to 50 grand a year, who are really just feeding you fluff. They're feeding you stuff that you have to memorize in order to do well on a test. But how is that going to help me succeed in life? How is that going to help me be happy with myself? It never really did. So I dropped out of CJEP, and I was constantly told by my family, by a lot of my friends, that meant that I wasn't going to succeed, that meant I wasn't going to find a career that was stable enough to support me and my family. And to be honest with you guys, that's so fucking sad, because there are other possibilities. The route that people tell you have to go down is not the only route there is. You just have to be ready to pave your own road. It's not going to be easy. Luckily, you have a team. If BIMA is something that scares you, then that means you see potential. Because we don't get scared by things that are nothing. We don't get scared by that. We're not intimidated by that. If you see potential in it, do your research like I did. Watch some videos. See what it's about. Because it changed my life in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time has made me the kind of person to believe in myself, to believe that I can succeed, and to really believe that I'm here for a reason. There is no time to waste, people. Just because we're 20 years old does not mean we should just go through the motions. Happiness is hard to find, but for the first time in my life, I feel happy. For the first time in my life, I feel like I have a purpose, and I can promise you, if you see what I see in this, you will feel like you have a purpose too, because it's something that brings more passion than anything I've ever witnessed. It makes you believe in yourself more than anything, and I was raised for 10 years by au pairs. Okay, so that meant my parents didn't look after me. They worked 40 hours a week. My mom was a teacher. She believed very straight edge. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. So growing up, I believed they didn't love me. They must not love me because they didn't want to play with me. They didn't want to eat my little munchies with me. So I thought that's why they worked that hard, because they didn't want to spend time with me. Now as I'm older, I know they worked that hard because they did love me. They had to take care of me and my family. I never want to put my kids in that situation. I never want to make my kids believe that I don't love them. Because that, to me, is one of the saddest feelings a kid can feel about their parents. So for me right now, I'm only 20 years old. I don't have a CJEP degree. I've been working blue-collar jobs nonstop since I was fucking 13. They're not fulfilling. It wastes your time. You make a little bit of cash, whatever, but they're not fulfilling. This is something, 2 weeks, have I seen my bank account change? No. Have I seen my heart and my mind change? Yes. Do I believe that this can change anyone that puts the energy and the passion in it that I do and that my team does? Yes, because it's something that actually drives you. It gives you a reason to believe in yourself, and if you can visually see the dream ahead of you, you can make it come true, because Walt Disney said the only way you can make your dreams come true is if you wake up. So what are we doing sleeping? What are we doing wasting time? It's pointless. Now is the time to wake up. Now is the time. If this isn't for you, that's fine, but find something that is. Because there's no time to waste. Life is short. You gotta find your strengths. You gotta see the greatness in you, because there's greatness in all of us. We just don't believe it. We let mediocrity, we settle for that. We let that take over because we're scared to stand out. Success is scarier than failure for some people, because it's harder. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. There is no doubt in my mind. It's exhausting. Today I feel like I just want to curl up and just sleep. But honestly, I'm here today because I want to tell you that it's possible. I want to show you that inspiring people non-stop is the most fulfilling thing you can do. I constantly fill up my own cup. I inspire myself on a day-to-day basis because I believe I can create greatness. I believe that I am fucking wonderful. So you gotta believe it too. Oh guys, sorry. So, partner in crime, Melanie.
Oh yeah.
She's been working in this for a couple months, wants to say a little words to y'all. Enjoy it. Love you.
Damn, girl. I'm supposed to go after that? Okay. Okay, well, this is the first time I'm taking fun of people, so you guys are my first. So I apologize if it's bad, but, you know, gotta practice, gotta start somewhere. So, my name is Melanie. I'm 19 years old, born and raised in Montreal, quite clear. When I was younger, I was never really good with authority. I was listening to my teachers or in class, all that. And my dad, even when I was in elementary school, used to tell me that I had to be my own boss when I grew up. And I remember in like grade 5, I told my dad, we were in the car, and he was like, so what do you want to do when you're older? Like, what do you want? And I was like, Dad, I'm gonna have a Lamborghini. I was in grade 5 and I knew what a Lamborghini was and I knew I wanted one, you know? And he was like, okay, he just kind of laughed. He was like, okay, go for it, you know? And so I always had this kind of mindset, and like, I've always been more of a leader than a follower, but I never really knew what that would, like, what kind of job I could do with that, or what I could do with my life. And I've always wanted to help people too. So, as I grew up, I used to be pretty good in school in high school. It was okay. I didn't really do much work, but I was naturally good. So I was more of the kind of person that would not do her homework, but instead hang out with my friends, you know? So my parents always gave me crap for that. They were always like, oh, like, that's useless, like, what are you doing? You're only, like, spending time with your friends, you're not doing your homework, and I was like, you know what, Mom, like, that's gonna serve me someday, I know it. And I know that, like, having connections is gonna serve me. I didn't know how, but now I do, before I didn't. So, like, I know it. I know, Mom, don't worry, one day it's gonna serve me well. So, then I went to CJEP, and CJEP wasn't really good for me. I failed a lot of classes. I just wasn't really, I had no motivation. I didn't know why I was there, and I was like, I'm just doing this because that's what I'm supposed to do, you know? Like, I didn't know why I was there, and then I didn't really do my homework. I did my homework, but like, I wasn't passionate about it, and I didn't care enough to succeed. So I took a year off. In September, I didn't go back to school. And I had been introduced to another network marketing company, but I loved the concept, and I signed up, but the actual product, it wasn't a product, it was like services and stuff, and I wasn't passionate about it, and I kind of like didn't really do anything with it, so it was my fault. I didn't really just go anywhere with it. But a couple months later, I was introduced to Dima by Natasha, and I really loved it because not only did I love network marketing and everything, but I loved the product, and I loved the whole movement, because this is the only network marketing company that is young people. And I found that really amazing because I was like, I could actually belong here, you know, like other companies, like you go, if you're young, you go and you're like, oh, what, I'm the only young person here, like what am I doing, like, there's no one else wants this, you know? So I found it really amazing, and I signed up the next day. I was like, wow, I'm really down. And yeah, see for Kyra, like my whole mindset and my whole, me as a person, like I've changed a lot since I've signed up, and in a really positive way, and I really feel like I'm going somewhere in life now. So. Sorry, I forgot. So, I'm going to present, this is a guy that's gone really far with the company. He's one of the people that have brought it to Montreal. He's really inspiring. Every time he talks, it really makes me like want to sign up again every time. So, thank you, Colo.
Cool, Go. You should sign up again, so you signed up what, 13 times? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
Should I go in French or English? Huh? Saying French.
That's it.
There's more French. There's more French? Speak English?
Yeah, mix half.
Français?
It's plus on the français.
Only English? Both?
I think everybody's English.
Both?
No, there are some people only English.
It's better.
You do French.
It's just English. No.
Okay.
English is good? English is good? Okay, good. English? Or only French? English. English is good?
Both.
Okay, I'll go English. Everybody. I have an accent, so it's easy to understand. You know, I'm from Longueuil Beach, so I mean, South Shore. Good. I'll do it short, guys. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm Colo, 22 years old. Like Kyra said, and Melanie said, their life has changed in the past couple months. Same thing for me. Did my bank account change? Of course, for me. I'm pretty insane, but my story real quick. I'm 22 years old, born and raised South Shore, Longueuil, right next to Brassard Island. And, no, I'm kidding, Brassard. And I was born entrepreneur. I always wanted more. My dad died when I was 7 years old of an accident. And from there, I knew that my mom and my sister, someone had to take care of them, and it was, gonna be me, obviously. So, when I was young, I started selling rocks door to door when I was 10 years old. I'll explain a little bit because it sounds pretty weird, but if you go back 12 years ago, Apple didn't really exist, whatever that word. And there was, people had dictionary and CDs and tapes and whatever, and they had, tablets with, dictionaries and books and everything. And what was holding those books was rocks. So when I was 10 years old, I used to collect rocks and then paint them. And then during winter, I would go to door and then sell my rocks to the neighbor because, in winter there's no rocks. So you need rocks, So I was selling rocks door to door. I was selling one rock for $20, and then if you take two, I'll make you a deal for $30. So that was my stuff when I was young, and I knew from there, I was born an entrepreneur, and I wanted more. So at 12 years old, I wanted to go to the next level, but 12 years old, how do you go to the next level? I thought that the only way you could, really succeed and have time, money, and freedom. I'm not saying being a millionaire, but to have time, money, and freedom, at the same time, the only way you could do that was either you had to be a professional singer, professional actor, model, rapper, Drake, Celine Dion, professional in sport, or selling drugs. I thought it was the only way you could make it. So, obviously cocaine at 12 years old, not the best idea in the world. So I went into this thing called hockey because in Montreal, on the South Shore especially, hockey is huge. When you're young, you have two choices. You're either going to die or play hockey. I wanted to live, so I started to play hockey. I did very good. In hockey, Steven Stamkos, couldn't make it to the Olympics. They called me. I said I was busy. Honestly, I did, junior AAA, almost made it, but I had a knee injury, so I had to stop playing hockey. So I went to this thing. I had to find something else, so I went to this thing called school. And, I know you all know what school is, and I went to, school, love and respect school. I was very good at school, but they were teaching, Colo, get your good grades, and then you're going to have a good job, and then you can, do with whatever you want for the rest of your life. And for me, it didn't fit me because my mom raised me with a different education. She told me when I was young, Colo, you have two choices in life. And those are the two choices that you have right now tonight. Okay, you're either going to create your own system, or you're going to work in the system, period. You can't do something else. Or you can be, itinerant, but I don't suggest that for sure. So you can create your own system, or you can work in a system. And I know that you heard this sentence before, but if you don't create your own system, someone's gonna hire you to actually work in a system and make his dream come true. So I wanted to create my own system. I wanted to start my own business, but 18 years old, if you're from Longueuil, you're 18 years old, you're a hex hockey player, big ego. And you find out about Saint Laurent Street, you find out about clubs, girls, partying, having fun, and then parking tickets. So I was, the whole VIP package. That was me, girls, partying, having fun, and parking tickets. I'm still good at parking tickets, but the rest is all gone. And I was, partying, having fun. And if you party and you have fun and you're 18 years old, big ego, small bank account, that was me. So if you want to start a business, what do you need? Money. And I didn't have money. So I was introduced to this, network marketing, what we do. I was 18, almost 19 years old. Now I'm 22. So at first I was really skeptical. Too good to be true. Those things don't work. And pyramids. You're from Egypt. This doesn't make sense to me. Those things. And then I realized that I had judgment and I wasn't educated about our industry. So the biggest thing tonight is to get educated about what we do. So guys, get educated about not the vitamins and the minerals and all the things that are in Vima and Bird. Yeah, that's good, but get educated like Kyra did, about our industry, what we do. What we do is simple. What we do is really simple. We build, a team, which we call a family, and then we build customers. Same thing in a traditional business. If we own a restaurant together, what we're going to do, we're going to build employees, and then we're going to build customers. If we have a garage or something, we're going to build employees and then customers. If we have here in Dima, what we're going to do, we're going to build a team, which we call a family, and then customers. And if you want to start a traditional business, it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Here, the only thing that you do is you become a customer. Yo, guys, are you the GoPro or? Yeah. Okay, good. It's good.
That's it.
Cool. Perfect. Sorry. We're not taping the movie, so. So like I was saying, if you want to start a traditional business, it's a lot of dollars. Here you just need to become a customer, so really easy. I got started at 19 years old, so from 19 to 21 years old, I did my first company. I made over $150,000 in 20 months with the company. Yes, a lot of money, it was great. Worked my ass off, traveled Canada and States, built a huge organization with the company I was before, but the company I was with, it was my first experience. They took very bad decision. It was a publicly traded company, so it was their pocket before us. And because it was my first experience, I was a little bit of, ignorant. and they took very bad decision. They end up changing the product. So it's like if Tim Hortons would change the product tomorrow morning, you know, it was good for them but bad for us. So that was against my integrity and my values. So I left the company. The company is still there. They're doing great, but that wasn't for me. You know, integrity and value is important for me. So I left the company, and basically for a couple of months I was doing nothing. I was just chilling and playing NHL 2013. That's it. And I invested in real estate a little bit, and then Vima, which is this company, came into my way by mistake. So if you think that this is weird right now, you know, a French guy speaking in English in a weird meeting in the West Island, if you think that this is weird, I was introduced in a weirder way, if that's a word, whatever. I saw Vima on YouTube, okay? I was 10 months ago, basically 5 days ago, it's been 10 months now that I'm in Vima. So 10 months ago, I was in my bed, okay? I was looking to videos, I swear, on YouTube. I was looking at videos late night, and then you know, I was looking to stupid stuff like X Factor and America's Got Talent, you know, weird people that go on stage and they sing and they're so good. I was looking to this, and then Vima pop on the right side of my screen, you know, recommended videos, when they recommend videos. And I saw a video called Young People Revolution, and it was the image of Steve Jobs on, you know, Steve Jobs on the video. So I was like, young people, Steve Jobs Revolution, young people going the streets, breaking everything with Steve Jobs. It's gonna be funny. Let's click on this video. And you know, of course, it wasn't this. I was a young kid named Alex Morton. He was with the cam, and he was sharing a story, you know, a little bit like I'm doing right now. And his story really, you know, resonated with me. So I started to do some research in my bed 10 months ago. And I went on Vima.com, and I realized that they were not, you know, really doing something in Canada. So I started, you know, my research about the company. So the company is called Vima, V-E-M-M-A. You know, it stands for Vitamin, Essential, Mineral, Mangosteen, and Aloe Vera, which is a basic formula. Thank you, camera guy. Which is a basic formula of multivitamin and antioxidant. That's really good, you know, for your body. My mom dropped, you know, her blood pressure with that. It's really good for your health, you know, your whole body. And you know, who's excited to drink 32 broccolis, 12 carrots, and 13 bananas? No one.
Woo!
Yeah, because you're in Vima. Doesn't count. But you know, usually people, you know, are not excited to drink a bunch of broccolis and bananas and everything all together. So the owner of the company actually took the formula and put it in cool product that fits every generation. So we have a line with Chris Powell. I don't know where he is. The body line. Do you have one? No. No, okay, good. But Chris Powell, it's a meal replacement shake that we have with Chris Powell. He's the most renowned fitness person in the whole freaking world. He's on Extreme Makeover Body Edition. He's everyone on TV. I think Kyra is going to get a shake. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
So you're going to see.
No.
No. Okay. Cool. Perfect. So we won't see Chris tonight, but he's pretty cool. So we got the body line, and then we got the last line, which is what you have right now in your hands, guys. Verve. So Verve is a healthy energy drink. 77 vitamins and mineral. What's in there is actually good for your body. So it's all natural and organic. And what's cool about this drink is we're the official drink of the Phoenix Suns, and also the official drink of the Phoenix Coyotes. So NHL and NBA, you know, huge for us. And then like Melanie said, the whole movement behind the company. That's really, you know, what got me interesting about this whole company, the young people revolution. You know, young people changing their mindset. Young people really, you know, want to change something. So it's kids from 18 to 35 years old. You know, most of the people are lost. They don't know where to go. They don't know, you know, what's going to be their real job, what they want to do for the rest of their life and everything. They don't want to work 40 hours a week. We would be willing, as young people, we would be willing to work our ass off in an opportunity if we had one. But right now, the job market and the economy is not that great. Future Shop and Best Buy fired 1,000 people a week ago. You know, 8 of my friends lost their job. Is your job, you know, secure for tomorrow? No. There's nothing guaranteed right now. So we see this as a vehicle for us, young people, to make more money and educate people to take care of their health. I don't think it's the health, you know, system the problem. I think it's how people were educated that they're, you know, to take care of their health. That's a big problem. And then second thing, financial. You know, do you have $1,000 in front of you? Do you have 2,000, 10,000? No. People are broke. People are here, paycheck to paycheck. That's how people live. You don't want to live out of that, that's for sure. So we see this as a vehicle, young people, you know, to make more. Because all of our friends, they spend money on Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, Powerade, Gatorade, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, like I saw in the back, every single day. People spend $2-3 a day on that every single day. So the only thing that we're saying is, guys, stop spending money there, spend some money on Vima, spend some money on Verve. You're already spending that money every single day. If you don't do it every single day, you're going to save every single week, and then, you know, during weekends, you're going to go to freaking music or whatever and, you know, rock your face. That's what you're going to do. That's what young people are doing. So we're saying, guys, stop, you know, doing that and then spend some money on Verve. on Vima, get yourself LT. If you want to talk to people, you know, there's a way you can make money with this. And if you understand the whole concept, word of mouth advertising, I mean, we're in 2014, by the way, guys. You know, social age. We're going from industrial to social. Your grandparents right now are playing Candy Crush on their iPads. That's fact. It's true. It's true. It's happening. Your grandparents are on Facebook. Your parents are on Facebook. Your parents are texting you. 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. You know, Flappy Birds, Candy Crush, all those companies. They don't use traditional form of advertising. They use word of mouth advertising. Word of mouth advertising is customers getting other customers. Candy Crush. If you play Candy Crush and you have no more lives, a little hard, be sad, time running out. If you invite people over from Facebook to join Candy Crush, you're going to unlock lives. The guy who owns Candy Crush, 95 million people play Candy Crush every single day. He's making $750,000 in sales every single day in lives, bonds, and whatever you can find on Candy Crush. He's a billionaire in 3 years. I'm saying we're the next bit. No, we're not, but social. That's how it works. From industrial to social. 95% of the companies go online now to find new employees. Online. Everything is going online right now. Future Shop fired 1,000 people because they're getting, you know, the online people buy online now. If you look back 5 years ago, would you put your credit card online? No, people didn't. But it's changing. Times are changing, guys. And they're changing fast. So we're using this to capitalize on this shift right now that is happening. That's what I understood 10 months ago. So to finish here and close, let's go back 10 months ago. You're all together in my bed, big freaking bed, and we're all together, okay? Let's go back 10 months ago. I was super excited, so I ordered what's called a silver pack, which is 8 case of the product, okay? Went online, put my credit card, you know, I did the whole transfer thing. So put my, you know, credit card, order my silver pack. And then I called 20 friends. I was super excited, you know, called 20 friends. It was like, you know, 11:30 at night, and they were like, what the fuck, you know, what do you want? I was like, you need to show up to my place, something big is coming here, you know, to Montreal. We're gonna launch this thing in Canada. And, you know, 15 told me they would show up, 15 told me that they would, you know, come that night, and then 10 showed up because 5 cats, you know, died that night during the whole, you know, half an hour that they were supposed to come. And then 10 people showed up to my place, okay? Let's go back 10 minutes ago in my living room in Longueuil with 10 people. That's first thing, Longueuil. So, you know, we're not starting that great. So I was in Longueuil with 10 people, okay? And then as I started to talk in front of my 10 friends, I realized that I knew nothing about the company. I was, you know, an hour and a half in the company. I knew nothing, and I could see on their face, they were looking at me, and they were like, Colo, you know, we came here for that. And I was like, yeah, guys, I'm super excited about this company. It's V-A-M-M. I couldn't spell the company even. And then they started to ask questions. Colo, who do you know who's making money with Vima? And I was like, I was in my bed, you know, checking videos on YouTube, and there's a kid named Alex Morton, you know, on YouTube. He's banking a lot of money. Cool, do you know him? I'm like, not really, not at all. Can we speak to him? I'm like, no, I don't really know the guy. And then second question was, Colo, can we taste the product? Can we see your product? I'm like, guys, I just ordered 8 case, it's coming, you know, it's on his way. I hope so. And then third question that really, you know, got me down was, Colo, who do you know who's doing this with you? I'm like, no one. We're the only one in Canada, guys. No one's doing this right now with me. You want to join? You know, it was 0. It was nothing. And then the 10 people that were there tonight, you know, they actually signed up. They became customers. And I asked one of them, you know, why did you do that? He said, Colo, you were so bad tonight that if you're going to make money with this, we're going to be millionaires. I was like, good, thank God. And then my 10 friends, here's the numbers, okay? So that's what you have to understand right now. Results are not typical, but I'm not typical. I'm working my ass off. 10 people became over 7,500 people. 10 to 7,500 people in 10 months, you know, a couple days ago. We've been in the business. We generated millions and millions and millions of dollars in sales to Vima in 13 countries. Vima is in 48 countries. My business now, 48 countries. In the past 30 days, I was in 4 countries. I'm going back to Europe, you know, next week. You know, I hit a position called residential, which is by title of the company, you know, 15 grand a month in residual income. I don't tell you that to impress you, that last week I made probably more than your parents are doing every month. I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that what we do is working, you know. It's not even about me anymore. When I got started, it was about me because I was the only one. But now, you know, it's about Natasha, Kyra, Mark, Bernold, Alex, you know, but a bunch of people. It's not even about me, it's about, you know, you guys. You're the next big success story. You can change your life with this. Not just in a financial way, in a health way, but in a mindset. You know, people are changing their whole mindset. So it's not a question of if, it's a question of when you're gonna hear about us again. Tools just came out Sunday. We had a big freaking meeting with like 250 people. Videos are coming out. I mean, the system is in place. If you buy at McDonald's, are you gonna say, thank you McDonald's, I'll change the Big Mac? No. You know, there's a system, it works. Same thing here, I'm following the system. There's a whole system in place. So the only question that you need to ask yourself is, you know, can you bring 5 to 10 friends in your living room like we did tonight, period. You don't need to be a salesman, no, nothing. You just share the product, share the opportunity. You get me in front of your people, Alex, Natasha, you know, whoever, it doesn't matter. You know, we're sharing the story, period. So the person that brought you over tonight didn't want you to buy a case, a can, an 8-pack, or whatever pack. They didn't want you. They just wanted you to see what we're about to do. The whole mindset that we're changing, period. And if it's not for you, no big deal. But there's 3 types of people. Number 1, you have a French accent, so it's not for me. I understand that. Number 2, makes sense. You talk a little bit fast, but I have questions. And then number 3, I already have people in my mind. How does it work, your little thing? Let's go. So get with the person that brought you here tonight and say if you're 1, 2, or 3. And thank you for listening.
I can't go view yet. Sorry, bro.